Other Adventures of Hercules, Part 2. King Eurystheus smiled at the large man in the lion skin who stood before his throne. "Hercules," said the king, "I have another labor for you to attempt or try. I want you to bring me the golden apples of Hesperides." This startled even Hercules. "But, your Majesty, the three magical sisters known as Hesperides live beyond any land to which humans have ever traveled. According to stories, in the middle of their garden is a tree from which there grow apples of real gold. The sisters keep the location a secret, for otherwise people would constantly trample the place just to get to the gold. How am I to bring you these apples if no one even knows where they are or if they even exist?" The king shrugged. "If it was easy, Hercules, I would not need you. Now go." So off went Hercules, who traveled throughout the known world and now set sail for the unknown world. He sailed west, and after searching in vain for several weeks, he thought, there must be a better way to find the Hesperides. Suddenly he grinned. "Wait a moment. I cannot find them myself, but I know where to find someone who might be able to help me." You see, the Hesperides were the daughters of the biggest and the strongest of all giants. His name was Atlas. The giants used to rule the world before Zeus became the king of gods. After Zeus became king, he punished Atlas for fighting against him by having him stand and hold the entire sky on his massive shoulders so that it would not fall down upon the earth. Hercules journeyed until he found a range of enormous mountains. In the middle of them stood Atlas, beneath the weight of the sky. Hercules shouted, "Hello, Atlas!" Atlas squinted downward, calling back in a deep voice, "Who is there?" "It is I, Hercules. I have come to ask a favor." Then Hercules explained his mission to clear his reputation as a man of bad temper, and he ended with his request, "So I hope you might direct me to your daughters and their garden." Atlas replied, "I would gladly do so, but my daughters made me promise to never tell anyone where it is, and I cannot break a promise, not even for you, Hercules. But I could go get the apples myself, but I dare not set down the sky." Thinking for a moment, Hercules said, "Well, I am nowhere near your size, Atlas, but as you know, I am pretty strong. Perhaps I can hold the sky up while you go get the 3 apples I need." Atlas had stood unmoving for so long that now even his ideas moved slowly. Finally, though, he agreed, warning, "Brace yourself, Hercules. Even you have never held such a weight as this one." Slowly the giant lowered himself to his knees and transferred onto Hercules' shoulders the weight of the entire sky and everything in it. Even Hercules was staggered a bit. Then he found his balance and said, "Okay, I have it. Hurry back, Atlas." The giant strode away with mile-long steps. For a long time Hercules stood bent beneath that immeasurable load. At last Atlas returned with the apples. But to Hercules' horror, Atlas told him, "I have held the sky almost since the beginning of time, and until today I could never set it down. Now I know someone else is strong enough to take over the job. Here, you hold the sky, Hercules, and I will bring the apples to your king." Hercules did not like this idea at all. Knowing how slowly Atlas thought, however, the hero answered, "I did not know I would be holding the sky for such a long time, Atlas, so I was not careful enough when I took it from you. There seems to be a planet rubbing against the back of my neck, and it is starting to hurt. I am afraid I might drop the sky. Before you go, could you please reach into my pack and get the blanket, and then help me slip it between my neck and that planet?" Atlas tried to get the blanket, but his hands were so large he could not reach into the pack. So Hercules suggested, "Take back the sky long enough for me to get the blanket in place on my neck." He handed the load back to the giant. As soon as Atlas held the sky once more, Hercules said, "I am sorry, Atlas, but Zeus chose you to hold the sky. But thank you for bringing me the apples." Atlas sighed, realizing that Hercules had turned his own trick back against him. "I suppose it's only fair. Well, Hercules, come back and visit old Atlas sometime." So Hercules took the apples to the king, completing yet another labor, and Atlas never let the sky down again. Hercules did complete all 12 labors after defeating the Nemean lion and retrieving the golden apples. Once he did, he was free to leave the service of King Eurystheus. He once again traveled all over Greece, completing many heroic deeds, but this time he was always thanked for them.